Jim Louderback, welcome back to the Screensavers in our continuing tech history series. Today we're taking out an oldie but a goodie. Atari did a portable?
Yeah, you know, this kind of surprised me too. You remember a 200LX, which was HP's sort of the calculator, palmtop PC thing, which I used forever.
Sure, you've sat on it. I've watched you drive nails with it, and it still runs.
Right, and it was the 95LX was my first one. Well, actually, that came out in 1991, I believe. In 1989, Atari came out with this, which is the Atari Portfolio. Let me see if I can get this so that you can actually see it. And it is a palm-top computer. See, there we go. Look at that. Keyboard here, screen here.
It looks disturbingly similar to the first generation Microsoft CE devices.
Yes, it does. It's actually the size of a video cassette. I'm going to hit this. Now, it should come on. If we can take a look at it, it'll come on. And there's actually one really cool thing I want to show you on here. There we go. Let's see that screen? It's on. Now watch this. This is actually pretty cute. If I type, it doesn't run DOS, but it runs a compatible version of DOS. It's 2.11 compatible. If I type in, I think it's VER. It's very hard to actually. There's the R key. It's very hard to type like this. Look at that. It's the DIP operating system.
Nice.
We were trying to figure out what the acronym DIP meant. Whether it was
DOS isn't proprietary.
Yeah, DOS is Disk Interface for Portfolio, because it's the portfolio. Turns out the company that designed it was called DIP.
DIP.
From England.
That's a company that didn't last long.
You could theoretically load DOS programs on here, although some compilers would not work. Like Turbo Pascal wouldn't work that well. But reasonably interesting product for 1989. 40 characters here, 8 lines here. 128K of RAM.
Wow.
Wow, 128K.
More than my compact portable, too. It weighed 38 pounds more.
15K of that was for a RAM disk and for the DOS disk operating system itself, the DIP operating system. So the rest of it was for programs, for memory. 256K of ROM. And inside, just like, I believe this is just like the 95LX, a 4.92 megahertz 80C88, which was the low power 8088 that they came up with to run on this. So this is essentially the power of the original IBM PC in your pocket.
Wow, and that was only, well, I guess that would have been about 8 years later at that point.
Exactly. Now, if we go back on the screen, there are built-in applications on here, which I will show you. There we go. If you hold down the little Atari key, it's got a spreadsheet and an editor. We'll pull up the address book just so you can see. Yes, there is an address book. You hit the enter key over here. You can enter in things there. Escape, obviously, can get you out. We're back out. Hold down the shift key. It's got a little word processor. Oops, excuse me, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's a spreadsheet.
It looks like Lotus 1, 2, 3.
It's not, but it's similar, but it is much more annoying. And if I hit escape and get out of there, again, trying to do all this upside down. Can we go back to the screen again, because then I can actually see what I'm doing. Hold down the shift key, and you know, again, there's an editor. It's got a diary. It's got a calculator.
So basically, this is the predecessor of all the PDAs, the Palm Pilots, the CE devices, the Scions. Is this the first one that was released?
Yeah, I believe it was. As far as I can tell, it's the first one released. Now, I was reading somewhere where somebody said it was actually manufactured by Sharp. That they actually did the innards and made it for Atari. I'm not sure if that's true.
Yet another Zaris.
$400 when it came out. Now, what it's also they did, and I think this is one of the reasons why it didn't take off that much, is it's got these memory cards, and I've got a bunch of different memory cards here. These actually slide into, you can see them right here? These will slide into the proprietary slot like that. Now notice as I show the card off, it's very thin. It's not a PC card format. It's not anybody's format but Atari's format. So there was no interoperability, which is kind of a pain. Right. The HP 200LX, by contrast, uses PC cards,
which PCMCIA cards. So this actually had its own, this is the card drive that allowed you to connect those cards. So
yeah.
This didn't connect to your computer, but you can
actually, wait.
Oh.
But wait, well, see, this is your ISA card. Okay, we'll talk about that. And it does have the connector, and you can stick these this will hook into your computer, and this would go into the card drive like that. But you could also take this thing, and over here, you can snap this thing out. And I'm going to do this without breaking it. There we go. Notice there's a little interface port right there. And that's what, if you can take a look at that, there we go. That's what this device right here, which is a parallel interface, snaps into, like that. Now, through the parallel cable, you can hook this puppy up to a printer. You can hook it up to another PC, transfer files. A lot of DOS programs will work on here, so you can download those and run them as well.
Onto the hard drive.
Directly onto the hard, well, it's not a hard drive.
Wow.
The memory. The storage. And what they recommend, and actually what they said, is that you should actually run them on these. Give me my memory card back.
Gently.
Thank you. on these things right here, you run them on the memory card.
So how much was this thing selling for?
$400.
$400.
Which is actually pretty much of a bargain because the 95LX was $700.
Gee whiz.
But it runs on AAA batteries, like all these guys did. For some reason, I'm used to things running on 2 AAA batteries or 4 AAA batteries. Atari had to be different. 3 AAA batteries.
Inconvenient.
Yeah, 4.5 volts rather than 3
You have
or
to
6.
buy batteries in packs of 12 to get it. So why don't you think this? It's pretty cool, great, pretty basic design compared to what we've seen today. Why don't you think it took off?
Well, for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it's big. $400 is a lot of money. There really wasn't that much you could do with it. It's a nice little unit, but for my money, I would have rather had the TRS-80 Model 100, full-size keyboard, and also and a screen and big enough to actually write a whole thing. The other thing is, and I'm going to just go like this because I'm a big fan of thumb typing, and I learned how to thumb type on the 200LX. My thumbs aren't long enough to get to the whole keyboard.
That's an awfully wide thumb keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big, nice keys. You can't touch type on it unless you're an elf, but you can't thumb type on it either unless you have really big hands.
So basically, you're hunting and pecking.
Yeah, and so you can't type very fast. And also, Atari, a game machine company.
Right.
And a serious computer from a game machine company
would probably argue with you about that.
Yeah, and those did really well too, didn't they?
Yes,
Still in
they
business
did.
as well.
Folks, you want to learn more about this, check out the Screensavers.com. Jim, thank you again.
Thank you very much. It's very nice to bring
stuff.
some more
You know
old
what?
antiques on board.
If you got a great tech history idea, send it our way at the Screensavers at TechTV.com. Take us back in time.